In just 25 minutes, the hidden meaning behind this 10th July full moon will finally make sense. Have you been feeling it? That strange, heavy silence in the air, that subtle inner tug that something is shifting deeply, silently, beneath the surface of your everyday life. This isn't your imagination, and this isn't just another full moon. On July 10th, the Capricorn full moon rises not just to light up the night sky, but to illuminate something far more personal. Your truth, your alignment, and the quiet promises you made to yourself, promises you may not have spoken aloud, but ones the universe never forgot. This moon doesn't come to comfort, it comes to clarify. It's not here to indulge our intentions, it's here to ask for evidence. Are you living what you claimed during the solstice, or just dreaming about it? In the next 25 minutes, we're diving deep not into astrology charts or surface-level predictions, but into the energetic architecture behind this powerful lunar moment. Because once you understand the hidden invitation of this full moon, everything, your resistance, your emotions, even your recent confusion, will finally begin to make sense. So take a breath, ground yourself, and prepare for reflection. Because this isn't just a video, it's a mirror. And the moon? It's watching, listening, and revealing far more than you might expect. Let's begin. 1. The deeper meaning behind the July 10th full moon. The July 10th full moon arrives not merely as a beautiful celestial event, but as a deeply significant checkpoint along our personal and collective spiritual path. To understand its deeper meaning, we must return to the solstice that came just weeks before, a moment, not only of lights turning, but of spiritual invitation. That solstice acted as a subtle but powerful threshold, silently offering each of us a chance to step into a new, energetic alignment. Yet crossing that threshold wasn't a final destination, it was the quiet beginning of something more profound, a kind of spiritual agreement, one perhaps unspoken, but nonetheless deeply binding. And now, under the watchful presence of this full moon, that agreement is being gently, but unmistakably, reviewed. Where the solstice brought clarity and intention, the full moon brings reflection and revelation. It doesn't ask us to close a chapter, it asks us to face the truth of what we've written so far. It doesn't celebrate the beauty of our intentions, it questions the depth of our embodiment. It looks not at what we dreamed of becoming, but at what we've actually become since the solstice. Were your intentions backed by action? Did your choices align with the values you claimed? This moon asks not, what did you hope for? But, what have you done with the opportunity you were given? And in that quiet inquiry lies the essence of transformation. What makes this full moon particularly powerful is the sense of energetic awareness it carries. This is not a passive lunar glow, but an intelligent, intuitive foreseer living witness. It is not here to judge in the harsh, moralistic sense. It is here to observe, to register, to reflect. Every small action you've taken, every decision, every avoided truth or followed impulse has been quietly gathered into what feels like a kind of cosmic assessment. Think of it not as surveillance in a fearful sense, but as a compassionate auditor frequency check. The universe is not only noticing what you've done, but why you did it. It reads between your actions and your silence, listens to your body language as much as your spoken words. It's as if your entire energy field has been communicating, whether you realized it or not. And now the moon responds not by punishing, but by revealing. If you have stayed aligned with your deeper self, with the promises you made during the solstice, the moon's presence will likely feel like clarity, even calm empowerment. You'll feel in sync with yourself and with the timing of life. But if you've drifted perhaps through self-doubt, burnout, or unconscious habits, the moon may feel unsettling. You might experience confusion, resistance, or emotional static, not because you've failed, but because the energies are trying to nudge you back into coherence. So, this full moon isn't offering final answers, it's offering reflection. It doesn't demand perfection, it asks for honesty. You are not being measured against some ideal version of who you should be, but being gently shown who you are right now, in the light of everything you've experienced since the solstice. This is the moon of recalibration, not reprimand. It's not here to shame you, but to show you clearly, kindly, and with deep wisdom where your frequency stands. If you listen closely, not just with your ears but with your inner awareness, you'll notice that this moon is less about telling you what to do, and more about showing you how far you've come and where you're truly ready to go next. 2. The space between storms, evaluation and placement. Right now, if you're feeling like time has slowed down, or that things around you seem oddly still, you're not alone and you're not imagining it. This moment under the July 10th full moon is what we call the space between storms, a pause, not of peace, but of purpose. It's not rest, and it's definitely not resolution. It's that strange, suspended feeling like life is holding its breath, and you're being asked not to act just yet, but to pay close attention. Have you noticed how things feel off lately, as if you're arriving a little too early or responses are coming a little too late? That's no accident. It's part of the energetic design of this time. You are standing at a midpoint between two powerful eclipse seasons, each one a storm of deep internal change, and this full moon lands right in the middle. This isn't just some random calm between events, it's a conscious pause, a cosmic checkpoint where the universe isn't asking you to move forward yet, it's asking you to be seen for who you really are. Think about it. When everything goes quiet, when the usual flow of life halts, what remains? What shows up in that space? Is it anxiety, peace, restlessness, truth? This moon invites you to sit with those questions, not to solve them right away, but to listen to what your energy is saying when you're not trying to impress anyone, when you're not rushing toward the next big goal. Right now, you're not being measured by your words or your intentions. You're being gently observed through your presence, your alignment, and your quiet truth. It's like life has hit the pause button on your outer world so it can take a closer look at what's going on inside you, and that's not punishment, it's preparation. Why do you think so many things feel uncertain right now? It's because you're in a cosmic waiting room, a place where everything that no longer matches your frequency is starting to fade, and everything you're meant for is still waiting for you to fully align with it. And here's where the moon plays a powerful role, not just as a symbol of light, but as what we could call an energetic filter. This moon doesn't just shine, it sorts. It doesn't listen to your affirmations, it listens to your vibration. It's not asking what you say you want, it's watching what you do when no one's looking. What kind of choices are you making when there's no reward, no attention, no immediate outcome? That's what this moon is reading. You could call it a spiritual algorithm that isn't judging you, but categorizing your energy based on how true it is. Are you still acting out a version of yourself that doesn't fit anymore? Or are you finally stepping into the truth of who you've become? Are your actions aligning with the promises you made to yourself during the last solstice? Or are you just repeating patterns that keep you in the same place? This moment is not about chasing perfection, it's about precision, not about how big your dreams are, but how clearly you're living them. The moon is scanning your signal, quietly asking, does your current state match the life you say you're ready for? And if not, what small shift could bring you closer? Because the truth is, in this quiet space between energetic storms, the most meaningful changes are not happening outside of you, they're happening within. This is the time to reflect, to realign, to get honest. It's not about speed or pressure, it's about depth. The deeper your alignment, the more powerful your next steps will be when the next wave of transformation begins. So, as you sit in this unusual stillness, ask yourself, what am I learning about myself when the world goes quiet? What does my energy say when my words are silent? You're not being tested in the way we often think. You're being invited to refine your inner frequency, to prepare not just for what's coming, but for where you truly belong when it arrives. Because what you align with now will determine your placement when the next phase of life begins to unfold. Let that be your focus, not fear of the unknown, but faith in your ability to meet it with clarity, integrity, and presence. Here's the wisdom this full moon offers you. The pause you feel isn't a punishment, it's a gift. It's space to realign, to observe your own patterns, and to choose truth over performance. Let your actions reflect who you are becoming, not just who you've been. Let your stillness speak volumes. This is your moment to become the kind of person who doesn't just ride the wave of transformation, but who rises with it clear, honest, and ready. 3. Capricorn full moon, a precise and unforgiving mechanism. The Capricorn full moon on July 10th doesn't arrive like a gentle whisper or a comforting glow. It comes with sharp edges and unwavering precision. This is not a moon that holds your hand and asks how you're feeling. It doesn't care about emotional processing or hopeful intentions. Instead, it stands like a cosmic examiner, clipboard in hand, calmly but firmly asking for proof, not just of your dreams, but of your discipline. It's looking past your affirmations and straight into your actions. And you might be wondering, why does it feel so intense right now? Because this moon doesn't operate with softness, it operates with structure. It carries the grounded, no-nonsense energy of Capricorn, the zodiac's builder, the one who makes sure that what we create in our lives can actually hold weight. So ask yourself honestly, are the things you've committed to built on real effort and integrity, or are they leaning on wishful thinking and temporary fixes? This full moon acts like a kind of X-ray, revealing cracks in the foundation of anything that can't support its own weight, whether that's a relationship, a career path, a belief system, or even the way you've been showing up for yourself. When Capricorn is amplified by the full moon's light, it becomes a force of cosmic enforcement. It's not cruel, it's clear. It demands truth, structure, and accountability, and it will not be moved by excuses or emotional appeals. That's not to say your feelings don't matter, they do, but they're not the focus right now. What matters in this moment is what you've done, what you've built, and what you've remained consistent with, especially when no one was watching. Have your daily actions matched the vision you've been holding in your heart? Or have you been saying one thing and doing another? Because under this moon, anything built on avoidance, delay, or fantasy simply won't survive. It's not personal, and it's not punishment. It's purification. This energy is here to strip away the things that were never truly solid to begin with. It's about clearing out the clutter, not to leave you with nothing, but to leave you with only what's real. This moon works like a cosmic audit, an energetic review of your life, where explanations don't matter. It doesn't want your justifications, it wants your results. Think of it this way. If something in your life is collapsing under this full moon, it's not because the moon caused it, it's because it couldn't stand on its own. The moon simply illuminated the weakness that was already there. And while that may sound intense, there's actually great power in this clarity. How many times have you held on to something out of habit, fear, or comfort, even though deep down you knew it wasn't working? This full moon offers you the gift of truth, and truth is the first step toward true stability. So, what in your life feels wobbly right now? Where are you sensing tension, resistance, or breakdown? Those areas are not failures, they're flags, calling your attention to places where deeper alignment is needed. What's beautiful about the Capricorn moon, once you accept its challenge, is that it invites you into maturity, the kind of soul-level growth that doesn't rely on external validation, but is rooted in self-respect and inner strength. This is the energy that asks, can you build something real, something lasting, something that reflects who you truly are, rather than who you're pretending to be? There's no room under this moon for pretense. It strips everything back to the essentials so you can see what's actually sustainable. And while that might mean letting go of certain paths, habits, or even people, it also means creating space for something much more solid to take root. This is the moment to stand tall in your truth and say, I'm ready to let go of what was never real, and I'm ready to build what truly matters. So, as you reflect under this full moon, let yourself ask the hard but liberating questions. What in my life am I clinging to that no longer supports me? What am I afraid to let go of, even though I know it's not helping me grow? And most importantly, where am I willing to finally take responsibility for my future, not just in words, but in consistent action? Because this moon doesn't ask for perfection, it asks for precision. And in that demand is a quiet kind of love. The kind that believes in your ability to rise, to grow, and to build something real that lasts. Let this be a time where you don't just talk about who you want to become, but begin living as that person, choice by choice, day by day. The energy of this Capricorn full moon is not here to hurt you, it's here to reveal you. And when you meet it with courage and honesty, it has the power to change everything. If this Capricorn full moon feels intense, you're not alone. It's asking all of us to get real about what we're building. So here's something simple to reflect on. What's one thing in your life you're ready to let go of because it's no longer real or strong enough to support you? Comment below with your answer. I'll start. I'm letting go of the need to please everyone. What about you? 4. Conclusion: the living silence. Right now, you may find yourself surrounded by a kind of quiet that feels unfamiliar, like a pause you didn't expect, or a stillness that seems to stretch longer than usual, and it's tempting to see that as emptiness or absence. But I want you to consider something deeper. What if this silence isn't hollow but intelligent? What if it's not a void, but a presence? This stillness around you, especially under the powerful energy of the July 10th full moon, isn't asking you to rush, react, or fill it with noise. It's not waiting for your next affirmation, your next prayer, or even your next big decision. It's inviting you to listen to yourself, to life, and to the quiet signals that often get drowned out in the busyness of modern life. We live in a world that constantly demands action, more productivity, more communication, more visibility. But there's wisdom in stepping back and observing, in learning to hear what your life is trying to tell you when you're not distracted. This silence is not passive, it's packed with information. It's a sacred moment, like a still lake reflecting your inner world with crystal clarity. Can you notice what it's showing you? Can you sit with the emotions and thoughts that rise to the surface when there's no distraction left to hide behind? This full moon is not just lighting up the sky, it's lighting up you. But it's not responding to your words, it's responding to your frequency. That's the deeper layer of this moment. Your energy is speaking louder than your intentions. The moon is not interested in the version of yourself you're trying to become. Someday it's reflecting the version you've already become. So ask yourself, honestly, what are you still holding on to that no longer feels true? This is not a time to dream about a future self you haven't yet committed to. It's a time to release the parts of your identity that you've outgrown, the beliefs you took on to survive, the goals you once set that no longer resonate, the roles you've been playing just to keep the peace. This full moon acts like a spiritual detox, and detoxes aren't always comfortable. Letting go of outdated parts of yourself can feel confusing or even sad, but it's the only way to make space for the truth of who you are, and who you're becoming. Think of it as cleaning out the mental and emotional clutter that's been weighing you down without you even realizing it. And maybe you're feeling that weight now, that strange heaviness or sense that something big is shifting, but you can't quite name it. That's because this moon is not about chasing desires or setting new goals. It's about recalibration. It's about stepping out of the performance of who you think you should be and instead stepping into alignment with who you actually are, right here, right now. Have you noticed how exhausting it is to keep trying to prove something, to keep chasing validation or certainty in a world that rarely slows down? This moon brings a rare and precious opportunity to pause, to drop the act, and to just be. And in that being, to observe what still fits, what feels heavy, what brings you peace when no one else is around. Because this silence is not a test, it's a conversation between you and the universe is listening, not to your words, but to your vibration. The question isn't, are you doing enough? It's, are you becoming someone worth responding to? In modern life, we are taught that progress means motion, results, checklists. But spiritual growth often begins in the quiet moments when you decide not to react, but to reflect. So if you're feeling off balance, uncertain, or even strangely aware of your own inner world, that's not a sign something's wrong. It's a sign you're present. And being present is the gateway to wisdom. This full moon is not here to deliver all the answers or hand you a neatly packaged path. It's here to help you see clearly what no longer belongs in your energy field and what you're finally ready to step into. But that clarity only comes when you're willing to stop and feel, to pause and listen, to be with yourself without needing to change anything right away. So here's the lesson this moon brings, and it's simple but powerful. Silence isn't something to escape, it's something to embrace. It's not empty, it's full of truth. And in that truth, you'll discover that you don't need to push for signs or beg for clarity. When you become still enough, life will begin to speak through you. This moon is waiting not for your wish list, but for your willingness to let go of everything that no longer feels real. And when you do, you create space for something more authentic to rise in its place. So lean into the silence, trust the stillness, and allow this moment to remind you the most powerful answers don't shout, they arrive when you're finally quiet enough to hear them. Things you should do right now. You're not imagining it, something feels different right now. The air is heavier, the silence is louder, and deep down, a part of you knows this isn't just another full moon. The July 10th full moon in Capricorn isn't here to inspire dreamy intentions or fleeting insights. It's here to check your alignment. It's asking for proof, not in words, but in action. This moon doesn't respond to what you hope to become. It responds to how you're actually living. This is your moment to stop waiting for clarity to arrive and start embodying the clarity you already carry. No more stalling, no more spiritual guesswork. Just presence, precision, and practical magic. So if you've been feeling called to make a shift, not someday, but now, here are some powerful, grounded ways to meet this moment with intention. Number 1. Revisit your solstice promises. At this point in the year, it's deeply worthwhile to pause and gently return to the commitments you may have made during the summer solstice, a moment that symbolically stands for light, growth, and clarity. Many of us, around late June, feel a subtle inner stirring. We might have made quiet promises to ourselves, vows, spoken not out loud, but felt in the soul. Perhaps you set intentions about becoming more patient, letting go of old habits that no longer serve you, or beginning to live in deeper alignment with your values. Some may have aimed to slow down, to reconnect with family, or to finally honor your need for rest. Others may have felt the urge to step into a more authentic version of themselves. Whatever the shape of those solstice promises, now is the perfect time to revisit them, not with guilt or self-judgment, but with curiosity and care. As the Buddha wisely said, there is no path to happiness. Happiness is the path. This reminds us that our growth isn't about a finish line, it's about the daily steps we take. So ask yourself, gently but honestly, have your actions mirrored your intentions? Often in the busyness of modern life, we get pulled off course by demands, distractions, or unexpected events. But that doesn't mean we've failed. It simply means we need to realign. This is not a scolding, it's a sacred check-in. Just like in meditation, when the mind wanders, the practice is not in never wandering, but in returning. What needs to shift now so your inner and outer lives can reunite? What have you avoided, postponed, or forgotten, not because it isn't important, but because the noise of the world made it easy to ignore? Perhaps your commitment was to speak more kindly, to move your body more often, or to stop saying yes when your heart meant no. You may realize you've drifted. That's okay. What matters is that you gently course correct with intention. As we reflect, it helps to remember the Zen proverb, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Sometimes that teacher is silence, sometimes it's discomfort, and sometimes it's this very moment, nudging you to look inward and return to the promises you once made to yourself. In this process, we are reminded that personal transformation isn't loud or dramatic. It often unfolds quietly, like water shaping rock. And if you feel resistance, pause and ask, is it coming from fear, or from a part of you that knows change is necessary but unfamiliar? In today's world, filled with constant scrolling, urgent notifications, and relentless comparisons, keeping our inner commitments requires more than willpower. It demands presence. And presence comes from awareness. So perhaps the most important thing you can do right now is not to push harder, but to pause, breathe, and ask yourself, what mattered to me in June, and does it still matter now? If it does, let that clarity guide your next step. If it doesn't, give yourself permission to revise the vow. As Thich Nhat Hanh wrote, the present moment is filled with joy and happiness. If you are attentive, you will see it. Returning to your solstice promises isn't about checking off goals, it's about reconnecting with the deeper rhythm of your life, the one that speaks softly but truly. And in doing so, you reaffirm that your life is your path, and every moment offers a chance to walk it with greater purpose, peace, and integrity. Number 2. Clear one physical space. Right now, one of the most powerful things you can do is choose a small physical space around you. A drawer you haven't opened in months, your cluttered desk, an overstuffed bag, or even the chaos inside your phone, and clear it out completely. Start simple, but be intentional. Remove what's no longer useful, what you haven't touched in ages, or what feels like it carries a weight you can't explain. You don't need to overthink it, just observe how each item makes you feel. As you let go of outdated papers, random charges, old receipts, or those apps you never open, you're doing something much deeper than tidying up. You're shifting the energy around you. When your environment becomes lighter, your mind follows. It's no coincidence that you feel mentally foggy when your surroundings are a mess. Have you ever noticed how hard it is to focus in a cluttered space, or how relieving it feels when things are finally clean and in order? That's not just your imagination, it's a reflection of something real. The external mirrors the internal. The way you treat your physical space often says a lot about how you're caring for your emotional space too. So ask yourself, what does your environment say about your state of mind right now? There's wisdom in the simple act of clearing space. It reminds us that letting go is not about loss, but about creating room for something new. In Buddhist thought, this ties closely with the concept of non-attachment. The Buddha said, "You only lose what you cling to." And in many ways, we hold on to physical things the same way we hold on to thoughts, beliefs, and emotions that no longer serve us. When you release clutter, you send a message to yourself that you are ready to be more present, more open, and more intentional. You are choosing peace over chaos, clarity over confusion. So, what would happen if you made space for what actually matters today? Not someday, not when you have time, but right now. What if by clearing out just one corner of your physical world, you triggered a shift in your energy, your focus, even your motivation? As you go through this process, don't rush. Treat it like a ritual, not a chore. Play music if you like. Light a candle. Make it meaningful. This isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Each small action you take tells your nervous system, I am safe, I am grounded, I am in control of my life. It's incredible how something as simple as deleting old files or sorting through a messy drawer can help you breathe easier, think clearer, and feel more in tune with yourself. And this isn't just theory, it's something you can experience directly. The next time you feel stuck, anxious, or overwhelmed, pause and ask, is there something around me I can clear or release right now? So here's the lesson. Your outer world speaks to your inner world, and clearing one small space can be the reset your energy field needs. It's not about doing everything at once, it's about starting somewhere. And the beauty of starting small is that it often leads to bigger change without force or pressure. When you give yourself space physically and emotionally, you allow new ideas, new energy, and new peace to flow in. So go ahead, choose your one space, make it yours. Let it breathe, and in doing so, give yourself permission to breathe more freely too. Clearing just one small space can shift your entire energy, so let's start together. What's one physical space you're ready to clear today? Don't overthink it, just pick something simple. I'll go first. I'm clearing out the old photos and files on my phone that I no longer need. Your turn. What are you letting go of today? Number 3. Journal. Messages in the silence. Right now, I invite you to slow down and take a few minutes, just 10 to 15 will do. Simply sit with yourself and journal what's happening inside, not just in your head, but in your whole being. Set a gentle timer, grab a pen and paper, or open a blank note, and begin writing without editing, without judging, just let the words pour out freely. This is your quiet space, where there's no right or wrong, only truth. What emotions are moving beneath the surface of your day? What thoughts keep coming back again and again, looping like a familiar song in the background? What parts of your body feel heavy, tense, or tight? These are not random signals, they are messages. The body speaks when the mind is too loud. So ask yourself, what have I been pushing aside? What feelings am I trying not to feel? What truths am I afraid might rise to the surface if I sit still long enough? Often, we fill our schedules, scroll endlessly, or bury ourselves in distractions, not because we don't care, but because we're afraid of what silence might reveal. But here's the thing, some of your most honest answers are hiding right there, in that silence. The Buddhist teacher Thich Nhat Hanh once said, "Silence is essential. We need silence just as much as we need air, just as much as plants need light. And when you embrace silence with curiosity instead of fear, it becomes a mirror, gently showing you what your energy has been trying to say all along." You might not be able to name it right away, and that's okay. Sometimes, just writing, "I don't know what I'm feeling," can open the door to a deeper understanding. So, let yourself be surprised what shows up when you give your inner world a place to speak. This isn't about analyzing or solving anything in the moment. It's simply about listening with compassion. And when you do this consistently, even once a week, you'll start to notice patterns, emotions that repeat, stories you tell yourself, themes that keep returning. That's not coincidence, it's wisdom. As the Buddha taught, the mind is everything. What you think you become. So, what are you becoming based on the thoughts you're carrying right now? Are they leading you toward peace or pulling you away from it? And more importantly, how can you shift toward thoughts that nourish instead of drain you? Think of this journaling practice as a check-in with your inner self, the version of you that's always watching quietly, waiting patiently for your attention. The stillness you feel when you write isn't emptiness, it's full of answers, if you dare to listen. So today, don't just journal to record your day, journal to reconnect. Let the silence speak. Let your energy guide your pen. And by the end, notice how your heart feels just a little lighter and your mind a bit clearer. Because in this busy world, one of the most powerful things you can do right now is pause, listen inwardly, and give space for your own truth to come forward. Number 4. Take one aligned, quiet action. Right now, one of the most powerful things you can do for yourself is to take one quiet, intentional action that reflects the person you are becoming, not the version shaped by old habits, fear, or urgency, but the version aligned with who you truly want to be. This action doesn't need to be loud or dramatic. In fact, the most meaningful transformations often begin with something small but deeply rooted in awareness. Maybe it's sending that one overdue email that's been sitting in your drafts for weeks, not because it's difficult to write, but because it represents a loose end you're ready to tie up. Or maybe it's reaching out to someone you care, offering a sincere apology you've been holding back, or simply saying thank you to someone who made a difference in your life. Even choosing to drink a glass of water instead of that extra cup of coffee can be a statement to yourself, I am listening to my body and honoring what it truly needs. You might decide to sit quietly for just 5 minutes, with your phone away, eyes closed, and thoughts allowed to pass like clouds, just breathing and being. These actions may seem simple, but their impact is profound because they are done from a place of alignment, not pressure. In Buddhism, there is a teaching: if you are facing in the right direction, all you need to do is keep walking. That means you don't have to fix everything at once. You just have to start walking in the direction that feels true, even if the step is small. So ask yourself, what is one small thing you can do today that matches the life you say you want to live? Is there something you've been avoiding, delaying, or brushing aside? Not because it doesn't matter, but because it actually does. In today's fast-moving world, where we're constantly being pulled in every direction, quiet action becomes a radical practice. It grounds you. It reminds you that you don't have to chase transformation with force. You can invite it in gently, through one decision made with presence. Whether you choose to nourish your body, make peace with your past, or simply honor your own silence, every step taken in alignment strengthens the foundation of who you're becoming. And when you live in this way, aware, intentional, and kind to yourself, you begin to see that real change doesn't arrive like a lightning bolt. It arrives softly, like morning light through a window. So today, don't underestimate the power of one aligned, quiet action. Let it be your statement to the universe and to yourself that you are ready, not for perfection, but for presence. As Lao Tzu said, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. What will your step be today? So as we move forward under the energy of this July 10th full moon, remember this: you don't need to have it all figured out. You only need to be honest about where you are and take one aligned step from there. This moon isn't asking you to be perfect. It's asking you to be present, to listen more deeply, act more intentionally, and gently return to the promises you once made to your true self. If something resonated with you in this video, if a part of you felt seen, or if you now understand the full moon in a way that speaks to your soul, I invite you to be part of this journey. Please like, share, and subscribe to The Journey of Wisdom to continue exploring these quiet but powerful truths. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our upcoming reflections and teachings. May this moonlight guide you back to your own wisdom. And until next time, walk gently, live truthfully, and trust the unfolding.